everyone, another day, another opportunity to learn. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Learning Daily with Ate Rosh. So this is my first ever vlog, so thank you guys for watching. And for today's episode is Applications to Educators, Applications to Pre-Service Teacher Preparation. So we have 4 instructional modes: integrating teach for understanding principle, creating rich practice teaching experience, creating dynamic learning communities and peer mentoring networks, examining the role of content, pedagogy, and technologies in developing higher order thinking skills. So we will also discuss learning environments, partnerships, and continuous teaching for pre-service preparation. So sit back, earphones on, and enjoy learning. Implications to pre-service teacher preparation. The quality of preparation programs is fundamental, as teacher quality is inseparably linked to all aspects of student learning. When we say inseparably, it is closely acquainted. Thus, it is important for preparing teachers for the students in daily learning. So whether special or general education, there is a growing consensus that the single most important influence in education of a child is a well-prepared, caring, and qualified teacher. So what is pre-service teacher education and its significance? Pre-service education for teacher means education of teachers before they enter into service as teacher. So pre-service education is carried on for preparing different types of teachers. And pre-service teacher preparation is a collection of unrelated courses and field experiences for teachers. Thus, it is important for teacher educators to learn the methodology of how to get in touch with the core qualities of a good teacher and how they stimulate these qualities in student learning. For the first transactional mode, integrating teach for understanding principle. The teaching for understanding framework helps educators take students beyond the simple mastery of facts to being able to apply knowledge, flexibility, in unfamiliar contexts. So we have 4 guidelines that educators can apply to teaching all at grade levels, even through higher education. So the first one is the generative topic. When we say generative, it means functional. So functional topics: what makes a topic or a concept worth teaching? To guide the selection of teaching topics, the framework prioritizes those that have the following features. First, central to a given discipline or subject area, connect readily to what is familiar to students and to other subject matters, engaging to students and teachers, and accessible to students via multiple resources and ways of thinking. So say for example, you're an English teacher and you want to teach the play Oedipus Rex by Sophocles to high schoolers. And it can be part of a unit on a family relationship and intrapersonal conflict. Thus, some students may not relate to the topic. By adding a theme to a given topic can help add new entry points to a new topic, making it more accessible to students who might not otherwise engage by it. So for the second one, understanding goals. After exploring generative topics, it is now time to develop understanding goals, merely an application to the topics, say for an instance, techniques, reasons, and results. So for the third one, performance of understanding. Throughout the school year, students should be engaged in performances of understanding, both activities that develop and demonstrate their current understanding. This includes discussion, could be a class discussion or group discussion. Basically, performance of understanding is merely observed during science class, where we do experiments by using our observations and we use our observations in learning. Gradually, we don't always stick to elementary based process, but also teachers will give us instructional support for independent learning. This doesn't mean that they want us to suffer, but challenge us to learn by having self-trust. So for the last guideline is ongoing assessment. In the Teaching for Understanding framework, performances of understanding and student assessment go hand in hand, whether possible. Rather than assessing outcomes primarily at the end of the unit, teachers provide feedback, learning criteria, and opportunities for reflection throughout the instruction. So for me, this is the most important and exciting part of learning. If you will to become a teacher, or shall I say we should not be afraid to correct our students. When will they learn if they always think that they're right? Also, we should not be afraid of correction, whatever our status is. Thus, the Teaching for Understanding framework provides a structure that teachers can return to over the school year to help ensure that these important instructional components are systematically being addressed. So for the second transactional code, creating rich practice teaching. Instructional design format in learning. So dynamic learning communities are a group of people who are learning community generally characterized by commitment to generation and sharing of new knowledge, flexible and negotiated learning activities. So, autonomous community members are also included when we say autonomous, free, high levels of interaction, and share goal projects. So, there are also positive features of dynamic community learning. So, this includes the capacity to adapt and evolve, creativity and innovation, crossing of traditional boundaries, the appreciation of diversity and multiple perspectives, and members put in diagnosing and addressing group in learning needs. So, however, there are also short-term efficiencies such as lack of probability for this learning way of learning. So, on the other hand, what is peer mentoring? So peer mentoring includes the development of use of peer mentoring networks for young people, especially students with disability, to help them prepare for transition from secondary education to post-secondary education and employment through the power and influence of high expectations, self-determination, and development of self-advocacy. So learning with someone else, either a friend or a teacher. Evidence shows students peer mentoring promotes success, efficiency of cost, availability of mentors, and the effectiveness of peer mentoring over traditional mentoring due to shared perspective and perceived credibility. The fourth, transactional mode, examining the role of content, pedagogy, and technologies in developing higher order thinking skills. So education system is now a spectator paradigm shift, or there are bases and examples, from the traditional chalk and talk teaching methodology to digitalizing the pedagogical approach through technical devices. So in today's world, most people need to update both their skills and knowledge to meet the challenges of everyday life, especially us that we're in the 21st century curriculum where we are exposed to technological learning or applying technology in learning. Thus, we must enhance our skills to keep an update and relate ourselves. So everyday teachers should know how to use technology, pedagogy, and subject area content effectively in their daily classroom teaching. It is clear that merely introducing technology to the educational process is not enough. One must ensure technological integration, since technology by itself will not lead to change. Rather, it is the way in which teachers integrate technology that has the potential to bring changes in the educational process. So, this means to say that the availability of technology is not enough for effective learning, but it is a helpful tool to change the educational processes. So, in techno-pedagogy, there are three areas of knowledge, namely content, technology, and the pedagogy. So when we say content, it is the subject matter that is to be taught. Technology, on the other hand, encompasses modern technologies such as computer, internet, digital video, and commonplace technologies including overhead projectors, blackboards, and books. Now, for pedagogy, this describes the collected practices or processes, strategies, procedures, and methods of teaching and learning. It is also include knowledge about the aims of instruction, assessment, and student learning. So therefore, techno-pedagogy method was a necessary component for teacher education because it fosters students for future development, attaining learning outcomes, and maintain the context of classroom-based resources through the use of ICT by teachers. So according to Kohler and Mishra, 2005, found in their study that good teaching was not simply adding technology, rather, the introduction of technology causes the representation of new concepts and requires developing sensitivity to dynamic, transactional relationship among technology, pedagogy, content, and knowledge. So, let's move on. Implication to pre-service teacher preparation learning environments. So adequate teacher professional development is needed to handle the changing teaching demands and fast advancing learning needs of students. So improving teacher education contributes much to the realizations of the goals set for the whole educational system. Southeast Asian Ministry of Education Organization Inotech Regional Education Program cited that teachers are one of the main pillars of a sound and progressive society wherein they play significant role in knowledge acquisition as well as values formation for or of students. The development of the best human capital lies among teachers. As highlighted, teaching is essential as knowledge and values are passed on to students to prepare them for further education, work, life, and building family. There is a need to empower the pre-service teachers in terms of their pedagogical, student performance assessment, and classroom management skills in preparation to their actual work. While the pre-service teachers are exposed to their work-based learning environments such as private and public schools to employ their theoretical acquired knowledge and skills, it is expected that they need adequate training and support in their work-based learning environments as future members of the teaching workforce. Furthermore, their classroom management skills needed enhancement to be able to prepare themselves deal with diverse learners in the future. The pre-service teachers' characteristics and attributes also play a very crucial role to be able to attain improvements in the ways pre-service teachers are being prepared as members of the teaching profession. Moreover, implications to pre-service teacher preparation partnership. So school partnerships are essential for teacher preparation programs. Pre-service teachers needed authentic learning experiences with K-12 students who have learning challenges, and these pre-service teaching experiences need to occur in K-12 school environments to prepare pre-service teachers for the teaching profession. All the research implications discussed and the need for a closer relationship between schools, cooperating teachers, and teacher preparation programs to successfully prepare teachers for the professional work of teaching. The future of development resides on the clinical teaching experience and related field-based experience hosted within the K-12 environment. Thus, K-12 learning is really helpful, especially in enhancing our skills and pedagogy in teaching. Now let's move forward to the implications of pre-service teacher preparation continuous improvement. So the ambient of a classroom are given life by inspiring, dynamic, enthusiastic, encouraging, skillful, and dedicated teachers. It is the teachers who shape the destiny of students and that of the future citizens who eventually shape the destiny of the country. Such a teacher only can successfully inculture among children values that strengthen the ideals of social justice, equity, secularism, and pluralism. It is precisely the responsibility of teacher education system, which is more than a mere combination of two of its major components, such as pre-service teacher preparation and in-service education. So what's the difference between the two? Pre-service teacher preparation means education of teachers before they enter into service as teachers. So it is merely more on preparation and enhancement, while in service is the exact profession of the teachers where they are exposed to the real work of a teacher. So the formulation of policy and design of teacher preparation and continuing professional development should optimally take into account the whole spectrum of teaching learning. So that's it, everyone. Let's give ourselves claps and cheers for finishing this video and for learning something today. Let us be inspired to learn every day, like how our teachers are inspired to teach us every day. For more educational content, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell for updates. Again, this is Ate Rosh. See you on my next vlog.